I don't necessarily subscribe to the doctrine of original sin. I don't believe that it is really in accordance with the Torah or the prophets. Now, the doctrine of original sin, a little bit of history, as I understand it, really was promoted by the corrupt St. Augustine of Hippo, a Roman Catholic father. He's the one that really took the doctrine of original sin, like we're all condemned because of Adam and Eve, and he ran with it and he publicized it a lot. And in my opinion, it was an unfortunate thing, along with several other things that St. Augustine did, which I think is very unfortunate and not in accordance with the truth. I believe that his contemporary, St. John Chrysostom of the Orthodox Church, is more in line with the truth as opposed to Augustine. The idea here is that the Torah and the prophets say that the soul that sins shall die, not the soul of the child of the one who sins shall die, not the soul of the grandchild of the one who sins shall die, but it's the soul that sins shall die. Where is justice in punishing somebody else for doing a crime that somebody else did? Again, it's like Johnny, he was born in prison and he never escaped prison. You know, how old is he now? Well, he's 10 now. He's 10 years old now. Johnny, what did you do to deserve being in prison all your life from birth? I'm here because my greatest, really great, extremely great grandfather committed a crime. And that's the reason why I'm here. Is that good? Is that justice? Is that something that, we say, oh, yeah, Johnny, you deserve that for sure. Definitely. You deserve to be born in prison and to be kept in prison all your life because your super great, extremely great grandfather was a criminal. No, the criminal pays for the crime, not the son of the criminal or the grandson or the great-grandson or any of it's the criminal himself that pays for the crime, right? The soul that sins shall die. I know somebody might say, well, it says in Psalm 51, I was born in sin. There's a big story behind that. A lot of Christians don't know. A lot of Christians don't know the story behind Psalm 51 and David. To give you a little bit of a background of it, okay? This is David writing it. He's not saying we're all born in sin. You look up the live streams that we did on original sin and David's mother, Nitzevet. As the story goes, David's mother was accused of being unfaithful. And so David, one of the theories is that David believed for a while that he was basically a more or less an illegitimate child. So he thought that he was conceived in sin, if you will. And so this is why he wrote that. It's similar to the story of Mary and Jesus, right? Because David and Jesus are very, very similar. Like they're almost like mirroring each other. This as Jesus is the son of David, David really reflects Jesus, or vice versa, however you want to look at it. The story goes that the rumor had it that Mary was unfaithful and, Joseph wanted to divorce her because of that. And, the whole story, right? So a similar story like that is surrounding David and his mother. Okay. So apart from that, my question is, where in the Torah does it say that original sin is a thing? Where does it say that if one person sins, all of your children pay for it? If that's the case, we're in so much trouble. Think about this for a minute. If original sin is true, and sin can be transferred down all the way through to all the generations that succeed, and Adam transgressed one command, and now the world is all condemned, what would happen if his son, Seth, transgressed one command? So that would be a snowball effect, right? A compounding effect. So if the doctrine of original sin, or the concept of sin, the condemnation of sin, is passed down to descendants, as the doctrine of original sin would imply, if that's the case, we're all super bad shape right now, because we've had how many thousands or hundreds of generations since Adam? All of our fathers and forefathers, all the way down, all the way from Adam till today, have all sinned. And that would multiply and compound and exponentially increase the condemnation upon the next generation, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it? So the doctrine of original sin, in my estimation, is false. I believe that a baby is innocent. A baby's not a sinner, because a sinner is somebody who commits sin. And babies don't commit sin. A newborn baby is without sin, because sin is the transgression of the law. Sin is not some inheritance that you inherit from your parents and all the way from Adam. Sin is the transgression of the law in 1 John 3:4.